All right, week 9. We got a test week. So let's go over what we've got real quick. First off, on Monday, we're going to do another review day. So it gets optional. There won't be any points associated with that. What I am finding now that we've done 3 of these things, I don't read too much into it. Like if you go to the review day, you're going to make a certain grade. I'm not saying anything like that. But we've had enough of these now that I've noticed there are some students that have attended one review day and then they didn't attend the other 2, or maybe they attended 2 review days and they didn't attend one. And I'm going to say on average, I feel this is like the science nerd of me at least. I think there's a significant correlation with if you show up to the review day or if you don't. There's a lot of other factors. You still have to study outside of class. It's not like if you're present in the room, you're automatically going to do better. But I think just having the chance to review and go over some material that you're going to need to know for the test really helps. So if at all possible, I would really recommend you doing that. If you haven't done it yet, I would give it a shot, and hopefully you're not going to say, man, I wish I would have been doing this all along. But I think it helps. All right. It's something to do on a Monday for me. I know y'all have better things to do, but I'm just sitting in my office most Mondays. So we'll do that 8 o'clock on Monday, and then we'll do the whole Jeopardy review thing. And probably donuts, because it's an excuse for me to buy donuts. All right, so that's Monday. Now, this Wednesday is exam 4. So remember, that's going to be on chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12. That is cell cycle and mitosis, meiosis, the Mendelian genetics, and then molecular biology of the gene. I know that sounds rough, but when we go through and do all those lectures, you'll see that they are all related. They're mostly dealing with how cells reproduce and how DNA works and how traits can be passed from one generation to the next. All right? So that's on Wednesday. Now, after we are done with the lecture, about 9 o'clock, we will meet and do the bacteria lab. So I know you won't have done that lecture yet, but this is a really easy one to do, even if you don't know any of the material yet. We'll go in, we're going to look at a few different types of bacteria under the microscope and learn how to identify the types of bacteria. We'll probably do just a little bit of a review, just so that will make sense. And then if you remember last week, we did the Petri dishes where you swabbed bacteria. We're going to get to see how well that grew. So we'll get a chance to look at that too. All right. After all of that is out of the way, after you've taken your test, after you've done your lab, what I want you to do is watch the Chapter 20 lecture videos. So Chapter 20 is on bacteria. It's also on viruses and archaea. So real quick side note, I know that viruses is something over the last year and a half we have all become really, really familiar with. I recorded this lecture video before COVID or anything like that. So if you'll notice, there's going to be a section where we start talking about major viruses and outbreaks that have occurred. COVID's not going to be in there just because it's so new, and I haven't re-recorded the lecture video. I'm sure next time I do that, that'll be a big topic that we cover. But there's still information you're going to hear, and it's going to relate to stuff you've heard about. So we'll talk about a little bit about RNA viruses, which COVID is an RNA virus. We'll talk about how viruses reproduce and things like that and how they can mutate. So that deals with all the different variants, like the Delta variants that we're seeing now. So watch that, and then the first half is mostly on viruses. The second half talks about bacteria and archaea. And that'll go along with what we did in the lab this week. All right. Finally, a couple more things real quick. Because it's getting close to the end of the semester, I'm posting a end of this semester survey. And all this is just a chance to get some feedback, because hybrid classes, we're still kind of new at this. So probably we won't be doing them again after this semester. But I want to get a little bit of feedback just in case we have to do them again, about what you think worked for the class, give you a chance to leave some comments. I'm not going to judge you personally. I'm not going to get mad at whatever you put. Just honestly wanting some feedback about the class. And I'll make it worth 5 bonus points if you'll do that. Okay. Finally, next Monday, so August the 2nd, that's the last day to withdraw from any summer classes. Most everybody in here is in really good shape, so don't panic. Just because I said drop, don't think, oh, do I need to do that or not? If you've got any questions about your grade, just contact me. Talk to me during class after the review or after the test. And I can look at your grade real quick. Literally, if you'll stop by my office, give me 1 minute, and I can figure out what you're going to need to make on everything from here on out to finish with whatever letter grade you're shooting for at the end of the class. All right, so just be aware of that. If you do have any questions about your grade, kind of figure out that information this week, because next Monday is going to be the deadline to withdraw. All right, okay, so I think that's got it. If you have any questions, if you need help with anything, let me know. Thanks.